Hello fellow mutants, welcome back to another video, and in this video we're going to talk about, well, I don't feel like I did a good enough job, per se, outlining what I liked or disliked about the Mutant Mayhem film. So, in this video, we're going to talk about what I disliked about the Mutant Mayhem movie. I will link the, my review in the description down below if you guys want to watch my initial review of Mutant Mayhem. So here's what I disliked about Mutant Mayhem. Like, I would say in my review how I like enjoyed how like Splinter was a street rat and how he essentially picked up the turtles. And I enjoyed that. I'm okay with that. I'm hoping in the sequel they'll bring in the whole Master Yoshi thing, right? But the part that I'm going to say that I'm not a huge fan of, which is why I'm bringing up the origins, is because besides knowing how to fight or do karate already, like how Splinter has always been able to already know how to do karate in some sort of fashion, whether he was Master Yoshi or a pet rat that so happened to who mimicked Master Yoshi's movements in the cage, or even I'll even give the Michael Bay turtles credit. They even had Splinter find this book of how to do ninjutsu, right? And Splinter trained how to do, training the arts of the ninja, right? So he can pass it down to Leo, Raph, Mikey, and Donnie, right? So I like that. Excuse me. That origin, that part of the origins of Michael Bay Turtles, for me, it's passable. Because at least Splinter trained himself how to learn the arts of the ninja, so he can pass it down to his sons, right? His adopted sons. In this version, he has them watch TV and watch Jackie Chan movies, right? Oh my god, this wasn't too surprising because a person who voices Splinter in here is Jackie Chan. But really? You're going to have the turtles and you watch TV to learn how to do self-defense? I can kind of understand Splinter uses some TV programs to learn how to learn some moves as a visual, while also usually using a book to really do the moves of the karate of the ninja, right? If they're not going to incorporate Master Yoshi in this universe, I can give them a pass if they did a book. Have Splinter learn from a book, passing down his knowledge to the turtles, like they did in the Bay movies. This, I'm not a huge fan of them learning it from TV. So that's one thing. Another thing I disliked was the fact that really bugged me. Was the fact that I like the beginning part, right? How the whole Baxter Stockman scene, which I wish that they utilized Baxter Stockman more, which maybe, who knows, if the sequel has the Shredder in it, spoiler alert, this movie does not have Shredder in it, but if the sequel has Shredder in it, maybe Baxter Stockman did Imagine X with Krang or whatever, or maybe Baxter Stockman's been in hiding all this time and he somehow has bumped into the Shredder. I don't know. But that's the only way I can excuse the lack of Baxter Stockman here. Because I really do like the actor who plays Baxter Stockman. I really liked Giancarlo Esposito as an actor. Granted that the only thing I really seen him in was Mandalorian. That I'm aware of, that I can remember, is the Mandalorian seasons 1 through 3. But I do dig him as an actor. But I feel like he was underutilized, right? Like, he should have been more prevalent. So I'm hoping, because as it was already announced that we're getting a sequel and a 2-season series of this movie, that hopefully either in the sequel or the series we'll get more of Baxter Stockman. Maybe the series will hint at, okay, where's Baxter Stockman at? The sequel will show Baxter Stockman working for the Shredder, right? I don't know. Anyways, my point is I wish they used Baxter Stockman more. And if they do bring him back in the series or sequel, I do hope that they will turn him into a fly. Because I would love to see him as a fly. Another thing I didn't like is that they were going around saying that these turtles were going to be a tad bit younger than what we're accustomed to, right? So I thought they were going to be about 13. When I heard they were going to get a 2-season arc, right, and a sequel, I thought with what I've heard about them wanting to make make the turtles a bit younger than we were used to, so younger than 15, then I was hoping, in this film, with how they acted, based on the trailers, that they would be 13. And when the show, it would take a year ish, right? Where they're 14, maybe 15. By the end of the series is 15, and then in the sequel we get them be 15, right? And which I forget what age you can start school. Wouldn't it 13 be in middle school? Or it would be that in some, I know some cases 13 years old can make it jump a few grades to go to high school. Donatello, with how smart he is, could potentially jump to high school. Anyways, but they didn't do that. They made it. They clearly stayed after the beginning part where they show Baxter Stockman and he's mutating his new family, and the agency comes in and essentially stops him. After that part's done, we get 15 years later. What? So, I do like this part where, April actually calls the turtles out immediately, saying, yeah, this will not make anyone like you. And they end up still doing it, but I like that part because April actually calls the turtles out. Each version of the turtles, right, that I've watched for the most part, the 80s, the series, the 90s trilogy, and the 03 series and the 2012 series, all had the turtles, and you can say in some cases the Rise turtles as well. I'll bring in the Rise turtles as well. They all were they all showed their age a bit. Sure, at times you can tell that they were teenagers, so they kind of showed at times that they were teenagers, right? But when things get serious, they get serious, and more so the 80s, 2012, 2003 turtles, more so than the Rise turtles, knew what to do, and the few times that they didn't know what to do, they might have went to a Splinter or whatever, right? I'm sorry, but these turtles kind of felt like a bumbling idiot. These turtles seem like bumbling idiots. And that hurts me to say because I really enjoy the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like, as a franchise, I've been a fan of the Turtles since I was 2, when I was still in diapers, essentially. Because I don't think I got out of diapers until I was like 3, maybe 4. So when I was still in diapers, I became a huge fan of the Ninja Turtles. So seeing them like this was like, even like seeing that, like hearing the ninja rap in here didn't like, it was a cool like little nod. I'll give them that, but it didn't like really make me like more happy with the Turtles. How these Turtles acted per se, they just seemed a bit immature for 15 years olds, to be honest. Like, I feel like even I was a bit more mature than at 15 than these versions of the Turtles were. And another thing that I think that like really bugs me is that I don't mind the Turtles wanting to like be like accepted into like the human world. I don't. I think that has essentially been like an underlying thing for the Turtles, that they want to be accepted by society, but they know they won't be able to be accepted by society because some people freak out when things are different, right? And so like that's one thing that always made the Turtles unique. They look different. They always wanted to like. Always got the sense that there was a part of them that always wanted to be accepted by society. But I knew that they wouldn't exactly be accepted by society, even though like a few humans like Casey and April accepted them. But they won't be accepted worldwide because of how they look different. Like the only times that they will be able to come out is like, I hate to bring up Next Mutation, but there was an episode in Next Mutation where Michelangelo, which was a DJ host in that series, hosted this party to lure out, I think if I remember correctly, to lure out one of the bad guys, right? And Michelangelo said, "Dress up as your favorite animals." Case like those, okay, I can see the Turtles walking out as they are, like costume events, conventions, Halloween. Those will be the times when the Turtles would potentially be able to like go out as themselves. Outside of those specific times, I mean, and not get harshly judged, right? Outside of those times, yeah, I can't imagine some people freaking out. Kind of like how like beginning of this movie had shown when Splinter was talking about the origins of him and the Turtles, and when he would try to like take the Turtles out in the real world, in the human world, and how the humans freaked out. I feel like people have that similar reaction per se. But the reason why I'm bringing that up, why I'm making a big point of this, it's not to trash that the Turtles want for being accepted by other, by society. Because, again, I can respect that. I think that's partially what makes the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles special and unique. It's that they want to, but they know that they most likely wouldn't be able to be accepted. But after everything's said and done, yeah, sure, the humans help Splinter and the Turtles, right? Out, but I don't think after that the Turtles would be so accepted into society where they would be able to go to high school. I'm sorry, I don't. I think I cannot explain to you how that rubbed me the wrong way, because it's kind of hard to explain that part for me, but I highly doubt that the Mutant Mayhem turtles, or the turtles, after the same day, have even like temporarily having the human race teaming up with them to defeat the big bad, which in this case was Superfly, that they will be entirely accepted. Sure, they might be thought of in the high esteem for a limited time, but I don't think that will be oh, you guys saved us? Okay, we're gonna accept you into society. I don't think that will happen in this case, and that for some reason bugged me. So like I said, seeing the turtles actually going to high school, it's like, oh. Not unless they do what they did in I believe it was the second Power Rangers crossover comic that I have yet to own and read. But I'm aware that in the sequel to the Power Rangers Ninja Turtle comic that I've reviewed on this channel, that Donnie, I believe it's Donnie, it's most likely Donnie because he's a tech whiz, created this device where he had this projector where he allowed his brothers and himself to look like humans so they can come across the real world. I can imagine that being the way where the turtles can be accepted more so. Not, hey, I'm going to go out in my turtle form. That's not a Halloween, some sort of costume party, or a convention, comic convention per se, and be out here. It rubbed me the wrong way. It's just, and I'll just throw this in here, too. I know that, everybody, I said this in my initial review, but I know, a lot of people are saying that, oh my god, Splinter's gay! Splinter's gay! Oh my god, Splinter's gay! And I can actually see where you guys would say that. Those of you who have yet to see the movie. Because, Splinter ends up hooking up with Scumbug, right? And on the posters, they said Scumbug as himself, right? But in the actual movie, they refer to Scumbug twice as she, her, or whatever. As practically implying that their Scumbug is a female. Heavily implying, practically. And, I would say that I don't like how they confused, did that, per se. And I don't typically, try to, go into genders talk on this channel, per se. Like that. But, I feel like that does a disservice to Turtle fans. And you guys kind of set yourselves up for getting backlash. It's one thing to have Splinter having a love interest, but say on the posters, Scumbag as himself, but in the movie you portraying her as a girl, Scumbag as a girl, what? Yes, Scumbag and Splinter are hooked up, but and those of you who have seen the movie, if I missed this part where they do refer to Scumbag as a dude once, let me know. In the movie, I'm not saying the poster, but in the movie, where they actually imply that Scumbag is a dude, let me know. But I didn't catch that. Every single time Scumbag was on the screen, when it comes to, saying Scumbag's gender, it was always alluding to Scumbag being a female. And I think I would have been okay if Splinter didn't have a love interest. Yeah, like there are some cases where like Splinter had a love interest, but that was back when he was a Monster Yoshi. Take the 2012 series for example. Splinter had a love interest. He had found the girl of his dreams. I forget if he marries that girl that I'm referring to, but he found the girl of his dreams, right? And they, with the girl of his dreams, they have a daughter named Karai. Karai, we all know, like, if you guys know the Ninja lore, I don't need to explain who Karai is. But then Shredder pretty much murders the wife, or Splinter's love interest, steals Karai. And Hamato Yoshi at the time and believed that Karai was dead until later on when he was Splinter. And her name, I forget what her birth name was. It wasn't Karai. Splinter called her Karai. Anyways. So, like, my point is, I don't mind Splinter having a love interest as Hamato Yoshi. If they will bring Splinter as a human. But, like, I don't know how I feel about Splinter exactly having a love interest, per se. I mean, sure, you always, like, wanting Splinter to be happy, per se, and you always got the sense that as long as he, like, trained his sons to be able to protect themselves and be able to spend time with his sons, that he is always happy. But, like, he will, in the end, always be happy. But, like, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Splinter as a rat having love interest. Like, I don't have anything against the rats loving each other, because, of course, if rats don't, like, do their thing, then the rats as a species would have been extinct a long time ago. Mate is what I was referring to, but, like, and I probably would have been, like, more receptive to it if it didn't feel as awkward in this movie as they made it. I don't know. And you can say that, like, Splinter hating the human world the way he does is a negative. And I'll give you guys that. I'll gladly give you guys that. But at the same time, like, this is where I'll kind of, like, do, like, middle ground, where I'll kind of defend both sides a little bit. I can acknowledge why people dislike Splinter having this strong prejudice out of the human world. And it's kind of annoying in this movie, I'm not gonna lie. But I, like, Superfly makes Splinter, like, realize that, oh shit, I'm just essentially one step away from being a bad mutant like Superfly. And so I should not do that. And Splinter actually acknowledges it. So, like I said, I can't understand why people are upset with Splinter having prejudice against humans, a strong one. In this movie, it's supposed to, like, how in the previous versions of the Ninja, Splinter always says, be careful of humans. They may not be exactly welcoming to you guys based off you guys being different. But I will say that part of Splinter, he does go through a character development in this movie in terms of that. He does some serious self-reflecting and changes his tune a little bit. And so, I was personally happy to see that. But like I said, it's like, okay. So, like, and the animation style, like, well, it's alright. I think the voice actors of Donatello and Michelangelo who have switched Um, guess I always like if one of the turtles had a high pitched voice as a teenager, right? Assuming at this they have yet to go through puberty, I would think that Michelangelo will be the turtle at around this time having the highest pitched voice, besides like Donatello. I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but that's what I always thought. Anyways, I still give this film like 5 out of 10. Like, and the 5 is me being generous. Realistically, I think this is like a 4.5 at most out of 10. But the 0.5 is just me being generous. Mutant Mayhem is not the best Ninja Turtle film I've seen out there. It doesn't even come close to the original Ninja Turtle movie. Doesn't even come close to the original Ninja Turtle film. It doesn't come close to Secret of the Ooze, and nor does it come close to the 2007 Ninja Turtle movie. I'm not counting Batman versus the Ninja Turtles because I count that as a hybrid. And even though the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 was commonly referred to as Turtles in Time, I feel like in the community, I don't even feel like say that even though the third Ninja Turtle movie in the original trilogy is the weakest, Mutant Mayhem doesn't even really come close to that in my opinion. Even with some of the puns that they have in the movie, it doesn't come close. Anyways, what do you guys think about the movie? What are some things that you guys may have disliked about this film? Let me know in the comment section down below. Love you guys. Have a wonderful day. Be kind to one another. I will see you guys next time. And for those of you who are like also saying, Phil, you only have a video that you talk about what you dislike about the movie. Don't worry. I will also have a video where I talk about what I did like about the movie. So if you guys want more positivity from me about the film, go check that video. Anyways, love you guys. Have a wonderful day. Be kind to one another. I will talk to you, fellow mutants, later.